experts are against her. The Kardashians, the Bezoses, the Sarandoses. No one is really a fan of Harry, and especially...
It's real. They actually kept a burn book. And I don't mean some metaphorical little black book of grudges. I mean a documented, running list of every powerful name in this industry who now refuses to take her calls. That's not speculation anymore. Insiders started leaking pieces of it last week, and what's inside? Well, you already know what I'm about to say. You've been watching this train wreck unfold in slow motion, and you knew. We all knew. The only thing that kept her in the game was proximity to the crown. And now that the crown has pulled the spotlight away, there's nothing left but a pile of very angry, very influential people comparing notes.
She increasingly tries these desperate, weird publicity stunts in an attempt to gain some positive attention. But that always goes sideways because, again, she needs to focus on the thing that's actually going to make her successful. Actually stick with a job. Figure it out, work through the difficulties instead of running screaming when anything goes wrong. Because
here's where it gets uncomfortable, because we have to talk about the one person who tried to warn everyone and got buried for it. Her name isn't in the headlines. She's not famous. She was a branding strategist brought in right after the Oprah interview to help Meghan pivot into this aspirational lifestyle mogul thing. I'm told, and this comes from someone who sat in those early meetings, that this woman looked at Meghan and said flat out, "You're burning through goodwill faster than you're building it. If you don't stop treating everyone like a stepping stone, you'll be blackballed within 3 years. 3 years. That was 2021. Do the math." She was fired 2 days later, and she was silenced. That strategist became a ghost in this town because Meghan's can't put the word out that she was difficult. But now with this burn book surfacing, suddenly that woman's warnings don't sound so crazy. They sound prophetic. She's the unlikely hero in this, even if nobody's saying her name. She saw exactly what we saw, and she paid the price. And look, that should make you angry. Not because you like Meghan, but because you know how this game works. You've seen good people destroyed by ego before. Now, here's where it gets good. Actually, wait, before I get to the names, I need you to stay with me for a second and really hear this, because what I'm about to tell you isn't just gossip. This is the architecture of a social collapse that is so complete, so thorough, that even the most cynical among us didn't see it coming this fast. So let me slow down for just a moment. I've been in rooms where powerful people smile and say one.
Meghan backed Edward Innifel on the Forces for Change issue of the British Vogue and sort of didn't become friends with Anna. And of course, there's a longtime rivalry between Anna and Innifel, and Meghan picked a side. Now, if you are smart, you kind of play both people. Not in a bad way, but like going, well, we're going to do this issue here, but let's keep chatting. Let's be positive. And again, Anna did greet Meghan at the Balenciaga show, but that's all part of the artifice of the entertainment industry. None of it's real. None of it's serious. They were just kind of chit-chatting with each other, and they were being like, I don't know exactly how you want to put it, but it wasn't really all that truthful, you could say. They're just there to make things look good, right? So Meghan pledged her allegiance to Innifel, ticked off Anna. Anna hates her. Meghan doesn't want to pay and never returns things.
Back during the Forces for Change Vogue issue, she threw her loyalty behind Edward Innifel, Anna's longtime rival. That was stupid. You don't pick sides in a fashion war unless you know you're winning. But here's what they don't tell you. Anna didn't just freeze her out of the Met Gala, which she did. That's the least of it. She apparently told close associates that Meghan was a rental dress tragedy waiting to happen, and that she wouldn't have her at any Condé Nast event again. Not now, not ever. That's the burn book entry. And before you think, oh, Anna Wintour is just one person, remember who she controls. The designers, the fashion houses, the magazine covers. When Anna blackballs you, you don't get Dior, you don't get Chanel. You get self-funded tours wearing clothes you bought off a rack, hoping someone will photograph you. That's not a career, that's a funeral procession. Then there are the Kardashians. And I know some of you will roll your eyes, but stick with me. Kris Jenner didn't like a single one of Meghan's posts for over a year. Not one. That was documented.
On the planet, but Kris Jenner hasn't liked a single post on Meghan's Instagram pages since last year. So guys, this little tidbit in the article has become actually incredibly important because wouldn't you know it, within a week of this publication, Kris Jenner all of a sudden has a Mother's Day offering that she posted on Instagram from Meghan Markle and as ever. Why do you think that happened? Why? Because the Daily Mail wrote a post saying that Kris Jenner hadn't interacted with anything regarding Meghan Markle in a year, and that Meghan thinks somehow this is a flex is sort of ridiculous, that she thinks it's helpful, I think is sort of ridiculous. And I think it's more likely Kris just threw her a bone and posted. But the really important, I think, and critical thing here, guys, is that when it comes to Meghan, she is constantly watching and obsessing over the news coverage about her. And when she sees something and she wants to correct it or clap back or whatever, she does in her ways. And honestly, I don't find this to be particularly helpful to Meghan in the long run. I think it just goes to show that she is spiraling. She is freaking out. Things aren't going well. And so she sees a report, again, examining that and showcasing that, and then she spirals and goes, I got to get something to Kris right now so she can post it so people can think we're friends, because it's so important for people to think that we're friends. And that's the MO of
The Daily Mail ran that observation on a Saturday, and by Tuesday, what happened? Suddenly, Kris Jenner is posting a Mother's Day chocolate box from As Ever with some half-hearted caption. You think that was organic? You think that was friendship? No, that was panic. That was Meghan reading that article, you know she reads everything, and spiraling, texting, calling, begging for a scrap of public validation. And Kris threw her a bone because Kris plays the long game. But Kim, Kourtney, Khloé, they're over it. She insulted them, deleted photos, acted like she was above them, and now she needs their billion-follower reach for her little jam business? They're not giving it. That bridge isn't just burned, it's dust. Now, here's the part nobody talks about. Serena Williams. You saw that video.
That's her little video. When I first saw the video of Serena Williams checking out Meghan Markle's latest Mother's Day offering, all I could think of was, at first, I thought it was somebody trolling Meghan. When I first saw the video without context or audio, I saw it. I was like, is that how the chocolates came? Well, I guess they've been partially eaten, so I guess not. But like, oh, that just doesn't look so great. Well, as it turns out, Serena Williams, her Meghan's supposed friend, that's how Serena decided to promote Meghan Markle's products, by making it look entirely
the half-eaten chocolates, the unappetizing presentation. Everyone thought it was just a weird friend thing. It wasn't. That was a message, a public, backhanded endorsement that said, I'm doing this because I have to, but don't buy this junk. And then Serena shows up at the Met Gala laughing with the married to a bath woman, she's actually a lovely person, a countess, and completely ignores Meghan. Let me say that again. Serena, who was supposedly her best friend, her soul sister, her baby shower co-host, made sure the world saw her choosing someone else. That is the kind of rejection that doesn't happen by accident. Not an accident at all, because something shifted recently. I think Serena finally saw what we've been seeing. The victimhood, the constant taking without giving, the way Meghan uses people like props. And when you're an athlete who built an empire on authenticity and grit, you eventually recoil from someone whose entire brand is grievance. That's my theory anyway. But before I get to the Netflix disaster, I have to pause on something that actually made my stomach turn. The clinging. At that Netflix beef event, the photos that got mysteriously deleted from Getty Images less than 24 hours later, and don't tell me that was routine. Nicole Avant, Ted Sarandos' wife, is a respected former ambassador and philanthropist. She looked like she was being held hostage.
And says, to be fair, Sarandos tried to help Harry and Meghan save face when he invited them to an event to launch the second season of the prestige drama Beef in April. Yet again, though, it all went wrong. Pictures of the couple were removed by Getty Images 24 hours after being published. It was actually less time than that, even though Netflix had okayed them. The theory is that Meghan didn't like the way she appeared to be clinging to Sarandos' wife, Nicole Avant. Don't cling to her. It's not hard. My source is blunt about what is going on. Nicole hates her. So does Bella Bajaria, a key Netflix executive, and Ted. And guys, again, Hollywood is two-faced, so they can love you and hate you. They're keeping Harry and Meghan on the hook in case they make them a buck. But guys, I would not be surprised, because Nicole did look a little, maybe you could see a little bit of an SOS sign in her eyes as Meghan desperately clinged to Nicole, but I think Meghan's clinging. I just have to, like, how is that not the most obnoxious thing any grown woman has done, is cling to another grown woman? Just going, I love you so much.
There's one shot where Meghan has her in this desperate side cling and Nicole's eyes are practically screaming for help. And look, I've been around phony Hollywood hugs, but this was different. This was a woman who knows she's toxic, clinging to the one lifeline she has left. Nicole hates her. Bella Bajaria, the Netflix content chief, hates her. Ted Sarandos is keeping them on the hook only in case there's one more exploitable documentary in Harry's misery. The moment that dries up, they're gone. The contract won't matter. They'll pay the penalty just to walk away. What really happened with that Getty takedown anyway? They said Meghan didn't like how she looked, but insiders whisper it was because Nicole's team demanded the images be scrubbed. They didn't want the association. When the wife of the co-CEO of Netflix thinks being seen with you is damaging to her reputation, what does that tell you? It tells you the burn book isn't just a petty list. It's a survival guide for the powerful. Stay away from Meghan Markle if you value your serenity. Now connect this to something bigger. This isn't just about one fading D-list actress. This is a cultural moment. We're watching the elite eat one of their own. And for once, it's not some innocent soul being sacrificed. It's someone who used the system, abused royal privilege, trashed her in-laws on global television for profit, and thought she could waltz into Hollywood and be crowned queen. And the system, corrupt and fake as it often is, spat her out. There's a quiet justice in that, a moral rightness that you can feel in your gut. I don't care if that sounds harsh. Too many hardworking people...
Not that. It's not that, let's say, things are failing because of outside factors or that a shipment didn't come in or something like that. It's a result of a series of catastrophically bad business decisions going back, I would argue, a decade now at this point. Bad business decision to marry Prince Harry. I think she should have dated him, dumped him, and then leveraged that.
The mansion, the security, the private jets, they're all on borrowed time. Some estimates say they need to clear $5 million a year just to break even. $5 million! Her jam isn't gonna do that.
Associate says they don't have a choice at this point. They really need the money. And that was always the problem. Their expenses are huge. The mansion, the taxes, upkeep, security, and travel, with some estimates reckoning they need to clear $5 million a year just to keep going. And that's not sustainable for them. And these sort of dumb tours they're attempting to do will not help them in the long run. They need to downsize. They need to be more realistic about their product.
Her chocolate isn't gonna do that. She's circling the drain, and the only reason we're all still talking about it is because we're watching karma happen in real time. But here's what infuriates me most. It's not the money. It's not even the lies. It's the delusion.
Wrong with that in a way? I mean, if she was smart, she could own it and actually leverage it into greater success. But as ever, she is the architect of her own destruction. She is imploding as we speak because she wants something so desperately to be real, which is that this Hollywood thing that she has attempted to cultivate and
the People magazine fluff piece, the astrological posts about endings and new beginnings, the desperate tour announcements, all of it designed to make you think everything is going great, but staff are fleeing.
Archers, we do have As Ever obviously not selling out of its Mother's Day collection, which is limited edition. We have some desperate, weird chicken coop video of Meghan Markle going, well, this is the guy, the chocolatier, and look, we're feeding chickens. I'm like, how is that supposed to help you sell chocolate for Mother's Day? The answer is it doesn't.
The website is riddled with grammar mistakes that nobody seems to catch because she only hires young women who won't challenge her. Yes, women. The burn book exists because she toxically demands loyalty and then punishes honesty.
Who's talking about, to be honest? A source says, unless someone is of use to them with money or unwavering attention, then the Sussexes always fall out with them. They're worse at dealing with people than they are with business, and that's saying a lot. And it is, because they're really bad at business. They're genuinely quite bad at business.
And when people finally walk away, she smears them. That pattern has now reached critical mass. There aren't enough bridges left.
That isn't true anymore. I don't think either of them are happy. And I've said as much so many times. I don't think either of them are happy. And if we go over right now to As Ever, limited edition stuff, all still there, guys. Oh, that.
I'll tell you what I think is coming next. you'll see a sudden, very staged makeup with someone. Maybe an old cast member from Suits, maybe a carefully orchestrated paparazzi walk with Harry looking all in love. It won't work. The burn book is out there. The names are whispered in every green room in LA.
While Meghan and Harry had burned all their bridges, as insiders reveal spectacular fallout with Anna Wintour, the Kardashians, money woes,
And our unlikely hero, the strategist who saw it all coming and was fired for it, she's somewhere out there drinking a quiet cup of coffee this morning, knowing she was right. That gives me chills in the best way. So I'm gonna leave you with this, and I really want you to sit with it. How many people have to publicly distance themselves before the mainstream finally admits what you've been saying for years? She's not a victim. She's not a humanitarian icon. She's a serial bridge burner who got caught.
by how she left the royal family and then how she treated the royals afterwards with Oprah, with Netflix. All those things together result in a miasma, which is just like a toxic gas. It's a miasma. And Meghan's...
And the cold silence from the very people she needs most is the only truth that matters. Tell me in the comments what you think the next big fallout will be. Is it Netflix? Is it Harry finally waking up? Or will she just keep spinning until the whole thing collapses in on itself like a dying star? Let's talk.